Welcome, ladies and gents, to another episode of Jay Does Sports. Sorry I've been away, been dealing with some family stuff and some renovations, but today we're going over the NHL Finals, some NFL contract stuff, Joey Chestnut backing out of Nathan's Hot Dogs. But first, let's congratulate the Celtics with their NBA Final title. 106-88 was the final score in tonight's matchup versus the Celtics and the Mavs. Game 5, sealing it out for the Celtics. Really, if you've been paying attention through all this finals and really the year in the NBA in general, you should have had no doubt in your mind that this was going to happen. Kristaps Porzingis getting hurt after Game 2, whatever meniscus problems he's been having, could it put it like a little damper on things, but again, with the finals, Al Horford's been really stepping it up. He's like been in the NBA for 17 years and still, I mean, he holds his own. So Kristaps wasn't that big of a issue for the Celtics and allowed for Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, who really, honestly, this series didn't really do a whole lot. Still a great player, but he was kind of just there. Derek White getting in there as well. But Jaylen Brown, given the NBA Finals MVP, and some stats for you on that. Jaylen Brown, amongst these past 5 games, averaged 21 points, 5 rebounds, and 5 assists. So really solid play. I don't think there was really anybody in the finals that stood out more than he did. Jason Tatum, I believe, this last game had like 20 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists or something like that, who also is the first player for the Celtics to do that since 1986 when Larry Bird did that. So in the realm of some good players with him. But yeah, I really, going into this, I didn't think that the Mavericks had a chance. Honestly, when Kristaps was healthy, I was thinking that they would sweep. With him being out, obviously that didn't happen. But really, this was just such a dominant Celtics team, and the Mavs, although they were really good, they won the West, they didn't have what it would take to be a finals champion. Good offense, typically. They definitely had some rough nights, especially, I believe, Game 1, and definitely tonight. But yeah, they were a good team, won the West. But congratulations to the Celtics, your 2024 NBA champions. Also from this weekend, Bryson DeChambeau with a sort of come from behind victory. He'd been leading really the entire week, but in Sunday, Rory ended up being up 2 strokes on him and just really choked. Not to take away from Bryson's achievement, like that was really great. His shot on 18 from the sand to get within like 3 feet of the hole is it will be one of the greatest shots in PGA history. Really just the odds of that in that clutch of a time, just so small. I think whatever statisticians calculate that, were saying that regularly, that would be a 1.7% chance for that to happen from that position and that sand bunker about 40, 50 yards from the hole. But adding on top of the situation that he's in, you need this to win the US Open. That just adds on top of that like astronomically. So really just an amazing shot by him. I do feel bad for Rory though. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't rooting for him, just because his major drought has been for like 10 years now. Really, I mean, I still think he'll go to the Golf Hall of Fame, especially all the stuff he's been doing with PGA and LIV. Yeah, he definitely needs his flowers. But he's still got plenty of years left with him in the PGA. And again, don't want to take from Bryson DeChambeau's accomplishment. Really such a great week from him. And a bunch of crowd work with him. It was crazy. He's like the exact opposite of Brooks Koepka now. Like the opposite of a douchebag. And really just somebody that the crowd loves to watch and loves to interact with. And also came out from this past weekend is him walking by this disabled man and just no words exchanged, just sign the hat and go. Just so much aura in that. And yeah, congratulations, Bryson. onto the NHL Finals. I've been away for so long. I haven't gone over a lot of this stuff. Panthers and Oilers has been not the most competitive championship or Stanley Cup Finals I've seen. It kind of the both of the championships amongst the NBA and the NHL, those final series haven't been very close. The Panthers, as PK Subban would say, is just there's no holes in that team. The Oilers, I was rooting for them too. Star power can be blinding, even to those who support them sometimes, though. And it really seems that the Panthers are going to come away with it. Although the past game, Oilers ended up winning 8-1 with the help of, I believe, 3 assists and 1 goal from Connor McDavid. Really just such a good player. I don't know how the Oilers keep getting hands on these generational players. But yeah, I really see the Panthers coming out with the win on this. There's just not much that they do wrong. 8-1, that seemed like a fluke for them, honestly. But Tuesday night, we will see if they can seal the deal or if the Oilers can extend the series. On to the NFL. Trevor Lawrence is now tied for the most paid quarterback in the NFL with Joe Burrow, and he's getting paid $55 million a year. It's $275 over 5 years, 200 guaranteed, and that's averaging $55 million a year, which is the same as Joe Burrow for the most in the league. This is such an overvalued thing. I don't understand how he's getting this much money. He's not even top half quarterbacks in the league. Not even close to it. He was great in college. I understand if you think he was great in college, that makes sense to me. But in the NFL, he has not panned out at all, especially to what they were thinking that he was going to be coming from college. And just to cement my thoughts on this, Trevor Lawrence, since 2021, amongst the entire league, he is 15th in yards per game, 15th in touchdowns, 24th in quarterback rating at 85. And just to know how bad that is, that the two people that are ahead of him in that are Mac Jones and Daniel Jones. Mac Jones just getting cut from the Patriots and replaced with Drake May, who was such a letdown, had good, his first year, and then just totally fell off. And Daniel Jones, we all know, is overpaid. He's just so bad. And then third most in the league in interceptions. So I don't really understand why they think that he's their guy so much. I feel like it'd be so much better to spend the money on wide receivers around him and build around that. I know they got Gabe Davis, but Gabe Davis, he does really, really well one game and then doesn't do anything the next. And that was as a wide receiver too. So that's not even the best cornerback or safety guarding him. I think that's a major mistake by the Jacksonville Jaguars, and I feel like they're going to be feeling that one come 2-3 years from now. Staying with the NFL, just going over some fines and stuff like that. The situation with Kirk Cousins in Atlanta, there was suspicion by the NFL and teams within that they tampered in their acquiring of Kirk Cousins, and they were found guilty by whatever NFL investigative department, and they will be fined $250,000 as well as forfeit their 2025, I believe, 5th round pick. So if you're looking at this from a Falcons fan point of view, that's really not a whole lot. I don't think that punishment really fits the crime, especially with the caliber of quarterback that Kirk Cousins is. I don't quite know how necessarily they determined just a 5th round pick for them. I think that would be worth at least a 3rd or higher. So really, I think y'all are kind of getting away with one. $250,000 also. That's pocket change for these people. And y'all got a good quarterback. Y'all might have tampered a little bit, but yeah, barely getting a slap on the wrist. And then another little thing, sort of like that. Saquon Barkley and the Eagles sort of had an investigation that was very similar to the Kirk Cousins investigation with tampering, with acquiring him before you're allowed to speak about that to players. They were found not guilty, so they're not held with any responsibilities on that end. So Philly, that's good for you. Kind of situation where, yeah, that's good. Really, I just want another center like Jason Kelce. That's really all y'all are worrying about right now, because I feel like that is definitely going to be felt a lot this year. You're not going to be having the tush push. I mean, you might, but it won't be ran to the same degree of efficacy as it was last year. Efficiency, I don't know, I said efficacy, but ignore that. But yes, nothing to worry about on that front. And Nathan's Hot Dogs banned Joey Chestnut, the throat goat himself, from their July 4th hot dog eating competition because of his partnership with Impossible Foods Frank's. I think this is really soft by Nathan's Hot Dogs. First of all, Joey Chestnut, that has to be 80%, or definitely the majority of people who tune in to Nathan's hot dog eating competition for the 4th. They tune in to see Joey Chestnut do this. He's won it 16 times, along with every single one since 2016. I believe his top amount, what was it, 71 hot dogs, I think? 76 hot dogs in the time allotted. He's the greatest to ever do it when it comes to that. And, I mean, this isn't really even that big of a sport. But how are you going to penalize a guy who's just trying to make some money off of his living that really there's no money found in this for anybody who's a competitive eater? Unless you're doing YouTube videos. I just really kind of disappointing from Nathan's trying to corner the market, I guess, for this Major League eating thing. I don't even think that he would have wore something. He would have wore whatever Nathan's gave them, right? Disappointing. And finally, to no surprise at all, more WNBA drama with Caitlin Clark entering the league, and just more fighting and jealousy and all this stuff. Angel Reese is the latest one. Their little rivalry stemming back since college. Angel Reese goes up to try to block Caitlin's shot, and basically just clunks her right in the fucking head. Like, it wasn't really even close. You used her arm as some sort of blunt weapon and hit Caitlin Clark in the head. And Caitlin was saying, this is just basketball play. Try not to, get that much heat from this situation and media attention or whatever that always happens with stuff that happens to her. And Angel Reese being upset, saying that, it wasn't a flagrant foul. It's just a basketball play. And these two things can be true at once. I'm saying, like, it is a basketball play. Yeah, sure. You might not have had any animosity with it, but it's still a flagrant foul. Like, that's not even close. A lot of players are saying that Caitlin Clark gets a different whistle. I don't remember the name of the girl that fouled her and then, like, did a little, imitation of whatever. She hit her. Like, it wasn't, I don't think it was a flop or anything like that, or else she might have, like, tossed one up or hit the ground or something. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of jealousy being thrown around, and a lot of people are saying, oh, it's about race or whatever. I really just think it's about jealousy and people thinking that, oh, I wish I was getting this treatment that Caitlin Clark was, whether it's a player that used to play, is one of the greats of the WNBA, or newer ones from college who are like, I'm sick and tired of hearing about Caitlin Clark basically that sort of situation. And also, I think this Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark rivalry is going to be really similar to Larry Bird and Magic Johnson kind of rivalry. I mean, this is NBA versus WNBA, so it's the WNBA version of that. But still, I feel like we're going to be hearing this for a while now. Whenever these two teams, Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever, play, unless they get traded, but that's besides the point. But yeah, I really think that this whole situation is kind of getting out of hand. And that is today's episode. Thank you for joining me today. Really appreciate you being here. Please like and subscribe. To the few people who have subscribed, especially since that NFL deep dive video, thank you for doing so. I appreciate all your support. Please comment any other kind of sports news you'd like for me to, talk about or give a deeper aspect to. And I will see you all in the next one.